Hey guys, today we're talking about habits. Habits is one of my favorite topics because they seem really small, but bigger picture, it overflows into a lot of different areas of our lives and has a massive effect on how we live. And so the more intentional that we can be with the smaller things, the more that we can actually be intentional with the bigger things in our lives. So here are 3 steps on how you can pinpoint what those habits are and make a shift if you need to. So the first one is actually being able to recognize when there's a habit. Oftentimes they're hard to pinpoint because they're so tiny and they're built into our daily routine. For example, when you wake up in the morning before you roll out of bed, do you press snooze multiple times or pick up your phone, scroll through social media, lay there, and then roll out of bed? All of those things are habits. For example, another one, when I lived where I worked, I would have my phone near my bed and I would be on social media, and then I'd find myself in my work emails before I went to sleep at night. And that developed certain anxiety because a lot of those emails were more intense. And I would be thinking about, how am I going to respond to this? I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wasn't dreaming. And then when I woke up the next day, I was kind of frazzled because I was already trying to think about how I was going to go into this work day. And so those habits can be small in retrospect and they can have a bigger effect going into my next point. So number 2 is defining what you're going to do about that habit. So if you're going to continue it or if you're going to make a shift. So with having my phone near my bed at night, I decided to get rid of that completely. And so I actually bought an alarm clock, set it near my bed, and then I didn't have my phone in my room at all. And something that I noticed is that I stopped having anxiety at night. I actually started dreaming again, which affected my creative process because most of my ideas come at night. And then I started waking up in the morning more refreshed and ready to go for my day. So just making that tiny switch of not having my phone near my bed made a big difference and actually helped me rest more. And so it really trickles into so many different areas of our lives. And if you need a reminder, figuring out how to remind yourself the best. If you're not using your phone, Post-it notes. If you need to write it down on a mirror, writing down that kind of stuff. Habits are something that you're going to have to do consistently, so figuring out how you're going to remind yourself is going to be really helpful. So number 3 is being able to know your why. Knowing your why is going to be so important for the habits that are a little bit harder to break, or when you feel tempted to continue on with an old habit or do the complete opposite of your new habit that you're trying to form. Habits take self-discipline and they take a while to form. There's new research now that says it takes 66 days to form a habit. So you're really going to have to stick with it, and knowing your why is going to be helpful to stick it out in the long run. For example, when I had my phone and my work emails, my why was because I didn't want to have anxiety at night and I wanted to actually rest and wake up feeling refreshed. And so that really helped with being able to form that new habit. And it became easy when I saw the effects of how that habit was going. So just knowing your why can be super helpful when you're trying to make that new habit happen. So those 3 things are really helpful with being able to understand what those habits are and start making those shifts. Again, habits are so good to be intentional with because they ultimately have a bigger effect into our physical, spiritual, and mental health. And so being able to recognize those can have such a big impact on the rest of our lives. So I want to encourage you guys with that and to be able to start making those good habits. And let me know any habits that you're trying to shift or any processes that you found helpful. Love to hear, and be able to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. All right, guys, until next week, I'll see you then.